On May 14, 2022, a bloody street fight erupted between the Hells Angels and Pagans, two of the most dangerous biker clubs in history. Over 30 bikers clashed in a brutal battle for dominance, leaving a trail of chaos and death. What sparked this violent outbreak, and who will emerge victorious in this relentless war? Stay tuned to uncover the shocking details of the biggest biker war ever. In 1948, the Hells Angels Motorcycle Club was founded by Otto Friedli in Fontana, California. It quickly grew from a small group to a massive organization with over 467 chapters in 59 countries. Known for riding Harley-Davidson motorcycles, their infamous activities and criminal involvement have made them the most feared outlaw motorcycle club globally. On the other side, the Pagans Motorcycle Club was established in 1959 in Prince George's County, Maryland, starting with 13 members and rapidly expanding in the 1960C and 1970S. The Pagans allied with criminal organizations like the Bloods, the Philadelphia Mob, and the Latin Kings, dominating the methamphetamine trade in the northeastern United States during the 1970S and 1980C. By the early 2000s, law enforcement crackdowns weakened the Pagans, imprisoning many leaders. The Hells Angels seized this opportunity to expand their territory. Despite setbacks, the Pagans regrouped, continuing their operations and clashing with the Hells Angels. Their deep-rooted histories and criminal ties have fueled one of the most intense and violent biker wars in history. The origins of the rivalry. The rivalry between the Hells Angels and Pagans started with their first encounters, which were far from friendly. From the beginning, tensions ran high as both clubs aimed to dominate the same territories. The Hells Angels, with their vast global network, saw an opportunity to expand into areas traditionally controlled by the Pagans. This move was seen as a direct threat by the Pagans, who were already deeply entrenched in the northeastern United States. Territory is everything in biker culture. Controlling regions means influence and lucrative criminal enterprises, like drug trafficking. The Pagans had strong alliances with other criminal organizations, which made them a formidable opponent. However, the Hells Angels, with their larger membership and resources, were equally determined to assert their dominance. Several key incidents further fueled this rivalry. The defection of Thomas Woodman from the Pagans to the Hells Angels was a significant betrayal, escalating tensions. Additionally, violent clashes, like the infamous Hellraiser Ball incident, showed the lengths both clubs would go to in their quest for supremacy. This battle for territory and power set the stage for a relentless and bloody conflict that continues to define the relationship between the Hells Angels and the Pagans. Major clashes and key events. The conversion of Thomas Woodman. Thomas Woodman was a dedicated member of the Pagans Motorcycle Club, fully committed to their cause. However, in 2002, Woodman made a shocking decision that would escalate the rivalry to new heights. He switched allegiances and joined the Hells Angels, betraying the Pagans' oath: Pagans forever, forever Pagans. This defection was a significant blow to the Pagans. Woodman didn't leave alone. He brought several other members with him, strengthening the Hells Angels' West Philadelphia chapter. This betrayal was seen as an unforgivable act by the Pagans, who viewed it as a direct challenge to their authority and loyalty. The impact of Woodman's switch was profound. It fueled hatred and distrust between the two clubs, leading to a series of violent confrontations. This pivotal event set the stage for the ongoing bloody war for dominance between the Hells Angels and Pagans. The Hellraiser Ball incident. On February 23, 2022, the Long Island chapter of the Hells Angels hosted the Hellraiser Ball at Vanderbilt Hall in PL View, New York. It was supposed to be a grand event with motorcycle exhibitions, live bands, and notable guests like former Hells Angel turned actor Chuck Zito and founding member Sonny Barger, the atmosphere was festive, with over 1,000 attendees enjoying the day. But the celebration took a dark turn when a van arrived, carrying more than 70 pagans from across the East Coast. They were ready to disrupt the event. As the evening progressed, chaos erupted. Gunfire broke out, wounding 5 pagans and resulting in 1 fatality. The police quickly intervened, arresting 73 bikers. Eventually, 66 were found guilty of federal racketeering charges. This bold assault by the pagans sent a clear message to the Hells Angels. They were not backing down. The Hellraiser Ball incident marked a significant escalation in the conflict, showing just how far each side was willing to go to assert their dominance. The murder of Thomas Wood. The murder of Thomas Wood, a former pagan who switched allegiance to the Hells Angels, marked a violent escalation in the rivalry. On January 14, 2005, Wood was driving his GMC pickup truck on the I-76 expressway when he was ambushed and fatally shot. This attack was a brutal reminder of the dangers involved in switching sides in the outlaw biker world. Despite a thorough investigation, the assailants were never identified, but law enforcement strongly suspected the pagans. Wood's death added fuel to the fire, intensifying the hostility between the two clubs. Escalation of the conflict. Pagans' recruitment and expansion strategy. The pagans, aiming to counter the Hells Angels' growing influence, launched a significant recruitment and expansion strategy. They focused on increasing their membership by relaxing their previously strict racial criteria, allowing a large number of Hispanic street club members to join their ranks. This move was intended to strengthen their numbers and prepare for the inevitable confrontations with the Hells Angels. The pagans' growth during this period was remarkable, with their membership expanding rapidly. They even considered expanding into the Hells Angels' stronghold of Quebec, although this plan was eventually abandoned due to the notorious reputation of Canadian bikers. Andrew Glick, a former Pagans chapter president turned informant, noted the intense violence associated with the Canadian biker scene, which deterred the pagans from pursuing this expansion. Despite this setback, the pagans continued to grow and solidify their presence in the northeastern United States. This aggressive expansion strategy was a clear signal to the Hells Angels that the pagans were not backing down, setting the stage for even more violent clashes as both clubs fought for dominance. Raw's Blue Wave Initiative. Raw, the new president of the pagans, came into power with a clear vision and strategy known as the Blue Wave Initiative. After serving a 14-year prison sentence for conspiracy to commit murder, Raw was determined to solidify the pagans' dominance in the northeastern United States. His strategy involved a massive recruitment campaign aimed at increasing the club's numbers and influence. The Blue Wave Initiative focused on expanding the pagans' presence in territories traditionally controlled by the Hells Angels. Raw's recruitment drive was aggressive, targeting disaffected bikers and criminal elements willing to join the pagans' cause. This campaign resulted in significant growth in the pagans' membership, making them a formidable force once again. Confrontations with the Hells Angels became more frequent and violent. Notable attacks, such as the assault on Jeffrey Shank, showcase the escalating brutality of this biker war. The pagans, under Raw's leadership, were determined to challenge the Hells Angels' supremacy, leading to a series of bloody clashes that only intensified the conflict. Raw's Blue Wave Initiative marked a new phase in this ongoing battle, pushing the rivalry to new and more dangerous heights. Recent incidents and ongoing conflict. Attack on Jeffrey Shank. The attack on Jeffrey Shank on April 24, 2018 highlighted the dangerous reality of the conflict between the Hells Angels and the pagans. Shank, an associate of the Hells Angels, left the Newark clubhouse to refuel his motorcycle when 3 individuals armed with baseball bats ambushed him. They struck him in the back of the head, causing fractured ribs and a collapsed lung. This brutal assault was a clear message from the pagans, signaling their relentless pursuit of dominance. The attack had severe consequences, prompting immediate retaliation from the Hells Angels. The cycle of violence continued to escalate, with each club trying to outdo the other in displays of power and control. The assault on Shank was just one of many violent incidents that kept the rivalry alive and deadly. Death of Francisco Rosado. In May 2020, Francisco Rosado, the president of the Pagans Bronx chapter, was brutally assassinated. Rosado was outside his Bronx apartment building when two masked men approached from a parked Jeep Grand Cherokee. Without warning, they opened fire, hitting Rosado in the head and chest, killing him instantly. This assassination sent shockwaves through the biker community, marking a severe escalation in the conflict. The impact on the pagans was immediate and profound. Losing a high-ranking leader like Rosado was a significant blow. His murder demoralized members and sparked a fierce desire for revenge. The pagans intensified their activities, leading to a series of violent reprisals against the Hells Angels and their associates. This assassination underscored the dangerous reality of the ongoing biker war. Both clubs continue to clash, with each incident pushing them further into a cycle of violence and retaliation. The murder of Rosado marked a critical point in the conflict, highlighting the lengths to which these clubs would go to maintain control and dominance. The streets became even more dangerous as the war raged on, with no end in sight. The current state of affairs. The rivalry between the Hells Angels and the Pagans remains intense and violent. Both clubs are still active, with each maintaining a strong presence in their respective territories. The Hells Angels continue to dominate on a global scale, with a vast network of chapters in multiple countries. Their influence and power have only grown, making them a formidable force in the outlaw biker world. The Pagans, while not as globally expansive as the Hells Angels, have significantly increased their numbers and influence, especially in the northeastern United States. Their recruitment strategies and aggressive expansion have made them a serious contender, challenging the Hells Angels' supremacy at every turn. The murder of Francisco Rosado and other recent violent clashes highlight the ongoing tensions between these two clubs. Recent developments indicate that neither side is willing to back down. Confrontations continue to occur, often leading to brutal violence and retaliation. Law enforcement agencies remain vigilant, but the secretive and tight-knit nature of these clubs makes it difficult to curb their activities entirely. Speculation about the future of this rivalry suggests that the conflict will persist as long as both clubs exist. The quest for dominance and control over lucrative territories fuels their enmity. As long as there are areas to control and power to be gained, the Hells Angels and Pagans will likely continue their violent struggle. The streets will remain dangerous, with both clubs locked in a relentless battle for supremacy, showing no signs of a peaceful resolution anytime soon. So, who do you think will ultimately reign supreme in this relentless biker war? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this look into the Hells Angels vs. Pagans rivalry, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an update.